Welcome back. This is Season 1, Episode 3 with the Acacia Broadcasting Club. My name is Carter.
And I'm Charlotte. And this is a special episode with the Mayor of Fullerton.
To Segment 1.
Mr. Dunlap, what do you do every day for the city of Fullerton? Like what do you do?
So currently serving as a council member in the city of Fullerton, it's not unlike the role of mayor, where you're basically dealing with different city business and city affairs. So that includes people that are like home or property owners here in the city that might have an issue. Maybe they're trying to do a project, they're trying to add on to their house, they're trying to expand, or they're trying to deal with some sort of permitting issue. So it's trying to help them get access to the resources that they need at the city. Or it's also, you've got the business community as well, right? So that could be somebody that owns a business that's maybe having an issue with planning or permitting and trying to get them the access to the resources that they need, because sometimes government is not always as simple and easy to access as it should be. So a lot of my time is spent trying to help people either get the information they need, to get an answer they need, so that they can make decisions to move their business forward.
Why did you try and run for the council?
So I was born and raised in Fullerton, and I think because of that, now raising my own family here, it's just always been a special place to me. And so I had served on other city commissions over time and was really interested in taking a leadership role. I think really the biggest driver was wanting to make sure that our city is that our city is kind of the best place it can be, right? Not just for our current residents and current businesses, but for the future and planning ahead. And I think there's a great opportunity, as an elected leader, to help shape that kind of what the future looks like in our city. And that to me is very special.
What is the hardest part of your job?
I think one of the more challenging parts of the job is definitely realizing that you can't necessarily help everyone or solve their problem. And a lot of people perceive that because you're on council or because you're elected that you can. And so there are limitations with respect to budget, and then other things related to city code or the municipal code that prevent certain things. So a lot of people think that you have the magic wand and you can just fix problems, and that's not always the case. And so in some cases, it's almost counterintuitive or confusing, because people think, and really in many cases there should be a simple solution or a simple fix, and it's so complicated and it requires bureaucracy and meetings and all sorts of things that people grow frustrated and confused by the process. And so that's where, if there's a silver lining to it, I just have really tried to focus on helping as many people as possible and encouraging people not to give up, and instead to kind of persevere through some of those challenges.
Okay. Mr. Dunlap, what can kids do to learn how the city and how everything works?
That's a great question. So I think part of it is just the one-on-one communication, right? Whether that's with a city council member or with a city employee, or also kind of your parents, to talk about the importance of civic engagement and sort of the local government. But it also starts, if you wanted to do your own research, there's a host of information available on the city website, which is located at cityoffullerton.com or cityoffullerton.org. So you can kind of do your own research there. And there's also a number of different programs that are available that publish annually, or actually, seasonally, in the Parks and Recreation. So that's another opportunity for you to kind of go on, read the booklet, or also go online and find out about some of the activities that are taking place across the city. So I think those are probably the best places to start when you're trying to learn a little bit more.
That's really nice.
Member Dunlap, what are some ways that the city helps with the schools and even the teachers?
That's a great question. So in Fullerton, we actually have our own school district, the Fullerton School District, which is award-winning and offers many, quality elementary school options across our city. We also have 3 great dedicated junior highs as well. So it's important to say that, because they are in fact separate, and so there's a board of trustees who governs the school district, and then there's the city council that really governs the city. So they're separately governed and also separately funded. But I say that because there are still ways that the city and the school district work together. And so we've done things recently like work with the school district to work on a shared access agreement for some parks across the city, to allow the school district to take on sort of an expanded role and maintaining and scheduling programs at some of these parks where there's like a park next to a school. So that's one area. But I think on kind of a personal level, it goes a lot deeper, because there are ways that we in a city leadership role can help support. So that's doing things like bringing attention to different programs and also helping to raise funds to highlight some of these programs. And I would note, actually, there's two of those that we've gotten some attention for in recent years. One of them being the Breakfast in the Classroom program at Commonwealth Elementary, and also the Tiny Home Project at Nicholas Junior High.
Mr. Dunlap, I hear that there might be some ways that kids can share their ideas to help Fullerton be better.
So there's a number of ways kids can get involved and help contribute to our city becoming a better place. And I think not only does that start with you at the individual level. If you have a concern, you can share something with your teacher, with your principal, with your parents. But also, to go above and beyond that, you can share those thoughts with folks at the city, whether that be the city manager's office or your council member. And then kind of to take a step back, if you're a member of like the Boy Scouts or the Girl Scouts, or another community organization, you can kind of share your thoughts through that and kind of work to improve things right around the community. We had recently a Girl Scout troop from Golden Hill Elementary School who was really concerned about kind of trash and recycling, and they wanted to add a new set of trash cans to the downtown area. And so we were able to get from the Public Works yard 2 trash cans delivered for their troop, and then they decorated them really nicely, and then we actually had them installed in the downtown area. So that was one way that particular Girl Scout troop was able to contribute to kind of cleaning up and beautifying our city. And so that's something that's really special, and I think that's proof that if you have an idea and you talk to the right folks, we can help make it happen, and that's what it's all about.
The Fullerton's like history.
Okay. Well, I think if you go back to the late 1800s, we were first established with ranchers. There's actually great history with the Basque community here, and then of course over time, it went from sort of rancher, citrus, ultimately to oil, and then of course since then it's sort of evolved, and it's really interesting because you've gone through obviously ranching and citrus, and even including like you might know that here in Acacia it was once an ostrich farm, right? All up and down Dorothy in this area here. So I think it's really cool that if you think about it, I mean these are things that were 120 years ago were taking place right here in our city, and you look at it today and here we are at Acacia Elementary School, right? So I think those are really cool parts of our history that are here, that are local, and that we kind of still understand to this day. And I think like we we're fortunate in our house to have a lot of citrus trees, and I know you see them up and down the streets as you drive around. And it's great that our soil produces such good citrus. I think that's obviously a testament to our history, right? That there was once orange groves everywhere. So very special part of the history there.
What are some fun events in Fullerton?
Fun events in Fullerton. So we're very fortunate to have a number of different community events that take place. So of course, if you start in New Year's Eve, we have the First Night program, which is in our downtown area. And so we actually have tens of thousands of people join us in the downtown area to celebrate the new year. So there's fireworks, there's all sorts of fun and games and rides and activities for kids. And then also fun for mom and dad too. But then we also have our 4th of July program where we have fireworks in the downtown area. And then of course there's a number of different events put on by the Parks and Recreation programs. So I know one that we talked about earlier with one of the other groups was the Taylor Swift program at the Hunt Branch Library last year. They also they did one for, it was like dog, like what was it, wiener dog racing or something like that at the Hunt Branch Library as well. But there's a lot of different fun programs that I think make our community special and give people the opportunity to have a good time and celebrate the city they live in.
That sounds fun. What people do you work with to help the city stay safe and clean?
So to help keep the city safe and clean, we've obviously we fund and support the police and fire departments. We've increased those budgets in recent years. We also have increased the budget for our public works department as well, and they kind of work hand in hand with some of the other departments to help make sure that our city's clean and that we're maintaining roads and streets and helping to keep people and places safe.
It's Fullerton special place to live.
I think Fullerton is special for a number of reasons, but in my view, I think some of the best things about our city is that it's an older city and there's just so much history. So not only do we have like history going back to the days of citrus and ranching and things like that, but we also have like really an incredible place and sort of modern history with the fact that Fender Guitars was started here in Fullerton, so we're the birthplace of the electric guitar. We've had a lot of great musicians and rock stars come from our city, come through, including right over here at Troy High School, which is where I went to high school. And also, we've got great baseball history as well with, not just some of our little leagues becoming successful, but also Cal State Fullerton. So you've got this great history. You've also got aerospace. And there's so many different unique things that have kind of shaped our landscape over time. Businesses, small businesses, and really the people that I think make Fullerton such a great place to live.
Yep. How do you decide which areas need fixing or help?
So, serving on city council, you're serving, we get elected by district, but as a council member, you're actually serving the entire city. And so you're trying to get, projects approved for any number of places across our city. You're trying to help serve across our city. And so a lot of these projects or a lot of these concerns are brought to us by constituents who live in a particular part of the city. So that might be somebody that's a homeowner, that might be somebody that's a renter, that might be somebody that owns a business, but they have a concern about their neighborhood. And so they'll bring these concerns forward and we're able to help them address them, try to fix and solve their problems. But then also, there are other initiatives that are driven by the city staff. And so city staff will go out and they will pursue grants, like if we want to improve a park or if we want to improve a particular part of the city. And so they will seek out those opportunities, and then we're able to kind of work to fine tune and ultimately get projects approved that will help increase the quality of life for residents across the city.
Yep. Why is your favorite place in Fullerton? What is your favorite place in Fullerton and why?
My favorite place in Fullerton, I have to say, I think the library is definitely one of my favorite places. I was an English major in school, and so I always loved reading. And so I think because of that, actually I used to do a lot of my homework at the Fullerton Library. So Fullerton Library is definitely a special place. I would say that Hillcrest Park is another favorite place. It's right around the right around the corner from our house, so we spend a lot of time there. I think West Coyote Hills Trail is another special one. That's a trail system that opened a few years ago, and we get out and hike there quite a bit. I think it's a great part of the trail because it's kind of steep, and you can get up and you get around and you get access to great views, and it's just a really special place there. And then also, I think one of my favorite places in town is also Goodwin Field, where the Cal State Fullerton Titans play baseball. It's one of my favorite baseball fields around. Growing up, we always went to Titan baseball games, so that's a special place too. There's really so many special places that's a tough one to sort of limit. Because I would also say, actually, Chapman Park, the home of East Fullerton Little League, and also Unical Field, where Golden Hill plays, are also two special places as well. Just because of all the time I've spent there on the fields over the years and the great memories and what it represents to kids, who are playing.
Yep.
Thanks for watching.
Tune in next week.
Hi, I'm Anders.
Hi, I'm Charlotte.
Hi, my name's Ken.
Hi, I'm Carter.
Hi, I'm Michael.
Hi, I'm Lily.
My name is Vincent.
I'm Edison. I'm Jason.